Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and a lot of you saw that there was quite an interesting controversy where Michael Eric Dyson wrote a pretty scathing 10,000 word article about Cornel West. I want to say the title was "The Ghost of Cornel West." If I get the title wrong, this guy will correct
Oh,
me.
that's it.
That's it. Okay. And to break this down, I wanted to speak to the person that I think gives the absolute best analysis on this sort of thing in the country among anybody I talk to. And that's political scientist Dr. Wilmer Leon. And first, I want to ask my brother, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. And yourself?
I'm doing really well.
Good,
Now,
good.
Dr. Leon, I'm gonna jump right into this because I know you got a meeting to go to, and I appreciate you joining me here. Um, when you saw this article come out by Dyson, what were the first things that went through your mind?
Why? And it was totally unnecessary since it was such a ad hominem personal attack and provided absolutely no analysis. I was just about to say credible analysis, but it's devoid of any substantive analysis of the issues that Dr. West articulates, such as warrantless wiretapping, drone attacks, no banksters involved that have been involved in the economic crisis being prosecuted, Guantanamo still being open, the U.S. Involvement with Israel in the oppression of the Palestinians. None of that. It was just basically, yo, why you dogging my boy? So 10,000 words for that, I thought was about 10,000 words too many.
Mm. Well, when you use the term "why you dogging my boy," I think that's an interesting term because President Obama wasn't always Dyson's boy. If you recall, he
No, no,
campaigned.
I meant
No,
the
no, no, no,
boy.
no, no. I wasn't correcting you. I was actually making
I
this
was,
point. I want you to elaborate on this. But if you recall, and this is not a critique on Mike, but this is just the truth. If you recall, he campaigned heavily for Obama, and then
mm-hmm.
suddenly he surprised everybody because he did a whole 180 and was on in the media. I mean, attacking Obama pretty relentlessly on the radio and on television. And I said, "What happened?" And then suddenly he goes back in the other direction. What does that say to you? I mean, what do you make of that? I mean, did he just change his mind? And because he wouldn't have written that article about 6 months into the Obama presidency. He wouldn't have written the same article. So what do you think was going on with that? Because Obama's kind of in the background of this divide between West and Dyson. So I think that's a critical issue.
Let me say I have not spoken to Professor Dyson, so I can't give any insightful reasons for his actions other than to say access is enticing. And I think Professor West is correct that folks want access and folks are willing to temper their approach in order to retain that access.
Interesting. So, do you think that I couldn't help but wonder about the timing. Yvette Carnell and I
Mm-hmm.
were saying, well, wait a minute. Now this article would have made sense in 2011. Just because that was when the conversation about Obama was heated. That's when Cornell was going to war with a lot of people. But it's coming into 2015. Things have changed. Do you think that there's a political motivation here? Do you think that it's? I think Kirsten West Savali defined it as a hit piece.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think this kind of piece is coming out now as opposed to a couple years ago?
Again, I haven't had a conversation with Professor Dyson, so I can't really speak to his motivations. The two data points that I see on the radar are one, he has a book coming out about President Obama, and also as we're shifting into the 2016 presidential season, as Secretary of State Clinton seems to be right now the front runner for the Democratic nomination, eliminating Professor West from the radar screen provides much more space for Professor Dyson, especially when Dr. West, according to Dyson's piece, is such good friends with former President Bill Clinton. So if you're moving into the 2016 presidential race, West is a friend of Clinton's. Clinton has moved into the front runner position. Then one would think that the analysis or the person that they would turn to for analysis would be Dr. West. Dyson may be trying that may be the hit. I don't know.
Interesting. And I think that was an important question that you answered because, people should understand that things like this don't happen for no reason.
Right.
Even in television, whenever you see a celebrity make an appearance on a show, there's usually some reason they're there. They're not just there to be on TV. They're there because they're promoting a film or there's an agenda, right? And so you mentioned this book that Dyson has about President Obama. That's supposed to be coming out. Now I knew about the book only because I talked to Professor Dyson and I've talked to Professor West and I've talked to each of them extensively about the other and tried to understand both sides of what's going on here. Because so two things I'll say, and then that leads into my question. One, I think in Dyson's defense, I think that he's been frustrated for a while that
Mm-hmm.
Professor West has been coming at him, and he's remained silent for the most part. In a way, anybody who follows hip hop, there's something kind of happening between the rapper Lil Wayne and a new rapper Young Thug, where Lil Wayne is mad at his old record label, so he's attacking the Young Thug because he's a leading artist, and Young Thug is just saying, "Look, he's my mentor. I love him. I have nothing negative to say about him." And I feel like Dyson's kind of doing the same thing. Dyson is, for the longest time, was just saying, "Look, I have nothing negative to say about West, etc." And so maybe this was kind of just that final outburst that people might have been waiting for, or that was inevitable, right? But the other thought that comes to mind is that with this book, I didn't know that this book was public knowledge. I mean, has there been some sort of announcement that this book is coming out? Because I do know, if I'm not mistaken, access to the president was a part of writing this book. You're talking about, dozens of hours, if I'm not mistaken, with President Obama, and the White House is not going to give you that kind of access without you playing ball for their team. I mean, am I wrong on this? Give me your thoughts.
No. In terms of knowledge of the book, I only got knowledge of the book when I listened to the Huffington Post interview that Dyson did with Mark Lamont Hill, and he mentioned the book there.
No,
So
no,
that's
not to interrupt you, but when did this interview occur? Was this recent?
within the last couple of days.
Okay, so this was this after the New Republic piece came out about
Oh,
Dr. West?
it's all about the New Republic piece. That's the point of the interview, and it's about a 46-minute interview with no commercial break. Um, so I don't have, and I think I hope I make this point clear in my analysis that I wrote. I don't have a problem at all with Professor Dyson's response. No, I'm sorry, responding. I have a problem with the nature of his response because he accuses Professor West of basically calling him out, calling out Reverend Sharpton, calling out Melissa Harris Perry. But that's exactly what Dyson does to West. So if you have an issue with him, then make it fact-based. Make it analysis of the issues. Don't just call him out as a intellectual has-been who hasn't published anything substantive in a number of years, and you use Larry Summers, of all people,
Larry
to
Summers,
validate your position.
that guy is one of the biggest racists in academia. I was floored by that. I was absolutely floored by that. Larry Summers is
That's
in
the
my
best.
Summers is in my field. I'm in
That's the best
finance.
you got is Larry Summers?
Right. That just I can't forget that part because Larry Summers is in my field of finance. That guy is an incredible racist. I cannot believe that was used as a basis. So go ahead, please. I want you
No,
to talk.
no, that was it. Larry Summers is the best you've got, and I can't remember the other guy that he referenced, but who again just berated Professor West. And again, I keep going back to this. They're berating him because they don't like the language he uses. They have not said that his critique of policy is wrong. And there are the issues are too important to be saying, well, I understand why you are criticizing Israel's policy towards the Palestinians, but please just say it in a nicer way. Or, please don't call Reverend Sharpton a bootlicker. And again, is that language over the top? That language is over the top. I got that. I don't debate that. But that's the language that Cornel chooses to use. So, man, do what you do. Say what you need to say in the manner in which you need to say it, because so long as you're right on the issues, then how you presented it to me is secondary.
Well, I think you're absolutely correct. And what I've encouraged people to do is to focus on the issues and listen to how much people actually talk about the issues, because that's one thing you'll notice. And it's amazing. I mean, that you can write 10,000 words and you haven't brought up any of the issues that West has been talking about. And me, you mentioned a lot of the things going on globally with the drones and the Palestinians. I also think about things happening in the black community, black
Right,
unemployment. Cornell's
right,
spoken on that, mass incarceration,
right.
poverty amongst black and brown children. And the funny thing is that if Obama suddenly switched policies and started speaking the same language as West, meaning started speaking on those very same issues, then a lot of the people that support Obama would be right in lockstep with that. Next thing you know, Dyson will be writing articles saying, absolutely, we must deal with the black unemployment issue because they're following the lead of the president. And it goes back to what you had said a long time ago in your analysis, where you had said that there's a difference between a black leader who is taking the interests of the people to the president versus those who are taking the interests of the president to the people. And I think that's important. That's an important distinction to make. So I think this is great, man. Did you have anything else you wanted to say? Because I know you got
No,
to go.
no. I think we've covered it. Well, the only other thing is, in the bigger picture, what I think this whole issue does is highlights one of the problems in the African American community, and that is we're so focused on the politics of personality. We're so focused on please don't criticize my boy that we are devoid of substantive analysis of the issues. And that's to me where, as a political scientist, and for you as a professor in finance, that's where we've got to be, is the issues. And the fact that you don't like Professor West attacking the president, get over that, because that's not going to pay your house note. That's not going to educate your children. That's not going to stop the Israeli torture of Palestinians, and that's not going to stop the president from believing that he can assassinate American citizens anywhere in the world without judicial review. So, what's more important?
Well, I think you said it all. I want to encourage people to go check out your piece. Dr. Leon, for those who are watching, Dr. Leon wrote a great article on Your Black World, and let's see, I don't remember the title we picked on it, but it's right there on the front
I can't
page.
remember it either.
Yeah, I know you had a title, and I think that our editor shifted the title a little bit. I'm trying to look it up, but I want people to really take a look at this because, and the reason I talked to Dr. Leon, just so you know, is because he's taught a class on the presidency, so he knows what the president can and cannot do. He's very objective in terms of looking at both sides of the issue, and I think that's what we should do. Don't let people think for you. Do the analysis and do the thinking for yourself, because there's a whole lot of people playing with the public's minds when it comes to this thing, and it bothers me. Well, I want to say thank you very much, brother. I really
My
appreciate your
pleasure.
time. And just so, also, Dr. Wilmer Leon is the host of Inside the
Inside
Issues.
the Issues with Wilmer
Inside.
Leon, Sirius XM 126, The Urban View, Saturdays 11 to 2 Eastern Time.
It sounds a whole lot better when you say it, because I always mess it up, but it's no sign of disrespect, because I have a tremendous respect for you, brother. Thank you so
Thank you, man.
much for your time. All
You got
right,
it.
all right. Take care now. All right,
You too.
peace.